I am appearing before you today, not as a school committee member, but as a former Wareham Public School employee, as well as a voter, taxpayer, and resident of Wareham. Last week, I received an anonymous letter that identified many concerning things that are happening in the district. I believe that all of you received this letter as well. I was told that an anonymous letter could not be taken seriously and that I should tell the group who wrote the letter to come forward. Unfortunately, I do not know who wrote the letter, but I do know the fear they may be feeling about coming forward. I have the same fear. It's like a panther lurching over you, waiting to pounce. As the letter states, it is a culture of fear and lack of morale. Is it a culture of fear and lack of morale what the school committee and residents want? And I, in good faith, cannot allow this letter to be overlooked. So I am here today as a former Wareham Public School employee to validate this letter and respectfully ask the board to take it seriously and respond to it appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to participate?
My name is Michaela Kanata, and
Could you move the mic closer to you, please, so we can all hear you?
My name is Michaela Kanata, and I am a junior at the high school. And last week, I came too late to say anything, but my classmate Stephen Leach had gotten a petition going to keep our math teacher, Miss Stouffer, her job for next year. And I never got a chance to say what I had to say, so that is why I'm here today. So, I'm not really good at public speaking. Ms. Stouffer is not just a teacher who will teach you the material that you have to learn and not care about what grade you get or whether you really take anything with you. She cares about teaching you the material in her class, but more than that. She wants to teach you about life and something that you can actually carry on with you further than just pass the subject test in her class. I didn't think that going to nursing school and in college was a real thing that I could do. I didn't think that I could accomplish that. And she went out of her way after school and signed up with my guidance counselors and sat me down and looked through colleges for hours with me to make what I wanted to do a reality for me and to show me that my GPA was capable of doing what I wanted to do. And that is something that no teacher has ever done for me. She goes out of her way to do things for students that no teacher, never mind on their first year, probably being stressed out with everything that she's not really used to teaching kids every day to do. And I really think that she is very valuable to our school because I guarantee that it's not only me who she's impacted further than just being a math teacher. And, oh, I really don't like this. I just really think that it would be a shame if she was replaced for next year. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the record, what was that young lady's name?
Kanata, I heard.
Oh.
Kanata, I heard. Okay. Is there anyone else? Public participation? Next, we'll go on to good news.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Before we do, I just have to make a comment about the young lady's presentation. I am personally dismayed that people who come before us are so nervous. It's unfortunate. I admire her courage. I admire the fact that she overcame her fear and actually spoke to us. We really don't bite, and I'm sorry we give the impression we do. Even the cameras don't bite. And I'm sure that the people who are watching and listening to you admire you for what you've said as much as I do. So thank you for being here.
Anyone else?
I just want to say again, I know Mrs. Stouffer. Miss Stouffer. I worked with her at the co-op, and I totally agree with everything you said.
Okay. Next. Any good news?
Absolutely. So, as the school year comes to a close, Wareham High School has had yet another year of success and teamwork. This year, our boys ice hockey, girls softball, boys tennis, and girls varsity basketball made it to the state tournament. The Key Club has logged over 1,000 hours of community service as well this year. A wonderful group of seniors just graduated on Friday, and it was a ceremony of pure positivity and love. Many seniors received wonderful scholarships and opportunities. Some seniors have even received special athletic opportunities, such as Evan Russell and Stephen Toll. We also have the Underclassmen Awards tomorrow night. Sadly, this week, we lost our fellow classmate, Trey Miranda. He put up the bravest fight anyone has ever seen, but everyone at Wareham has joined together to help overcome this loss, including fundraisers and Play for Trey t-shirts. This year has been one that has proved how much school spirit and how big of a family Wareham is.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any more good news?
I attended the co-op graduation, and I just want to say that it was wonderful to see students being able to have that opportunity, the alternative route to graduate.
I was the beneficiary of the Transportation Department's desperation, and I got to watch 6 of our high school, actually I think there was a middle school student involved as well, participate in the Southern Massachusetts heptathlon event. For those of you like me who thought there was only such a thing as a decathlon, there are actually 7 event track meets, and I was impressed, sometimes amazed, at how people could do so many different sports well. They represented Wareham extremely well. Paige Feskins, our valedictorian, came in the top third of the southern part of the state, and the amount of effort they extended in order to represent us so well was extraordinary to behold. So thank you to all those athletes who did that, and I was privileged to be there.
Thank you. Any other news?
I'll just make one quick comment. I had the pleasure of going to my 49th graduation, and I'm looking
How many
forward.
is that?
49. I'm looking forward to next year.
49.
I know it's ridiculous, isn't it?
McDonald's booth soon.
But I have to congratulate the high school and Madam Superintendent for proving it. I thought that little added touch of giving a 93-year-old World War II veteran a diploma, an honorary diploma, was touching. And I kudos, and I think it just added really a lot of class to a class operation anyways. I've always thought that Wareham's graduation is classy. So that was really great. And to honor Mr. Clemenshaw at 93 years and what he's given up with his diploma, I thought was a really, really excellent touch. So kudos to the administration at the high school and central administration for bringing that forward.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, it was quite a moving moment. And I also have some good news. I had the opportunity to attend the pizza party for the Chinese students who were leaving soon from their host families. And it was touching to see how close those students became with each other in that time they were together. And actually, I was there till the end when these students were actually, the Chinese students were actually getting on the bus to leave, and everyone was sobbing. Those children were all sobbing. I think they've made friends for life. I'm sure we live in a global world, and they can, keep in touch with one another. But it was great experience, and I'd like to see more of that. Okay, next we'll move on to the minutes of the meeting. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting? Is there any discussion?
So moved.
Second it.
Any discussion? Take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? I guess, aye.
300.
400.
Oh, 400.
And next we have the acceptance of gifts.
Yes. I would ask the committee to please approve $142.94 from Target to Wareham High School. This was used to purchase snacks during the MCAS testing.
Oh, do I have a motion to accept the gift?
So moved.
Second it.
We vote on that, too? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against, abstain, 400.
So is there any data to support whether the quality of the snacks has any impact on the results of the tests?
I'll have to research that and get back.
Could you provide us
with-
some data on
Yes,
that?
I will.
Okay. Unless our student representative can, do you have any data?
They gave us cookies, and they were pretty good.
The next gift, $100 from Tracy Williams and her son Josh for the Stage Backpack Program. This is a project of CARE Youth Empowerment Builders Club at Wareham Middle School.
Do I have a motion to accept?
Move approval?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? 400.
$100 from Jack and Marianne Silva for the Stage Backpack Program, a project of CARE Youth Empowerment Club, Builders Club at Wareham Middle School.
Do I have a motion to accept?
Move approval?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? 400. Next, we have the membership approval of the school building committee for the Minot Forest
I
School.
think we skipped over
No,
something.
one more, number 5.
Authorization of principal designees for student activity checking accounts. Looking for it.
I can speak to this item if you like.
Okay.
So
thank you.
just, this is as part, we have a new student activity account policy, and one of the amendments, or one of the changes to keep us in line with DESE regulations is that we annually ask school committee to approve the staff who will be in charge of these accounts. So that is primarily the principals are the first people in charge, and they are able to designate, so they're to designate their responsibilities. And at the middle school, they designate to Mrs. Sandy Pont, and at the high school to Mr. Tom Tricker. So it's really just to get your authorization that they can continue to carry out their functions as they have been till now.
Refresh my memory. These checks only require one signature, is that correct?
Yes. But yes.
And is there any maximum amount associated that signature is authorized?
Yeah, so it is a very complicated process. And so they have a checking account and a savings account, and there is a limit to how much can be in the checking account, and they have to request transfers come through me and the town treasurer before money can be transferred to the checking account. So that's the control over it.
So what is the limit on how much
It's
can
not-
be in the checking account?
I believe off the top of my head, I think it's about 20,000 at the high school and middle school, and then 5,000 at elementary schools.
20,000.
Yeah,
So you're telling me in theory, someone could write a check for 20,000? In theory?
in theory, but then it has to come. But yes, in theory.
And then what would
With
happen?
it. So then it comes to me.
Before
for
it goes to
approval
the
for
vendor?
transfer. No, it goes to so we used to have it in place where it would have to come through an entire process. It would have to come through me and the town accountant before, but that was taking so long. So I mean, the town, the team, the student advisor, the club advisor has to request the check from the town, from the designee or the principal, and only then can they sign it. So there is a check within the school.
Okay, but obviously I'm thinking absolute worst case.
Yep.
So if a designee, principal designee, wrote a check for the maximum amount allowable
that
in the
there.
checking account,
Yes.
signed it,
Yep.
made it out to him or herself, okay?
Well,
It-
yes.
It would
yeah.
still, at that point, before it could be cashed, would have to come to you?
No.
It wouldn't.
No. It could be issued.
It could be issued. You at all uncomfortable with that? Just from a pure financial checks and balances perspective?
So, I mean, we could put a limit on the size of the checks that could be written. That would be
It does seem
possible.
to me that 20,000 is too big.
Yeah, because that's the maximum that can be in the
Well-
account at any one time.
I don't know how the rest of the committee
That
feels.
doesn't mean that.
Limits are going to be a problem. I'll tell you right now, because I did that job for many, many years. Limits are going to be a problem because when you've got, let's say, 35 kids going to national competition and you've got to write a check to American Airlines, it's certainly going to be more than $20,000. So, and ultimately, don't lose sight of the fact of whose money that is. Those are the kids' money. That's the money that's been raised by the kids, by the
Yeah.
students. So it's the student activities fund. You know, it's not like it's taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
And there has to be a certain amount of leverage, not leverage, that's the wrong word, a certain amount of discretion when it comes to controlling that funds, particularly when you've got situations that require a tremendous amount of, of cash outlay. So I don't know what that number would be, but I certainly know for a fact that the principal has to approve it, the club advisor has to approve it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you were in the line of it, but
Yeah.
But-
So-
Only for transfers, yeah.
Yes.
But the actual checkbook
Yes.
is sitting in the hands of the designee.
Yep.
Right? And the actual check, therefore, can be written by the designee and cashed by the designee. I understand what you're saying.
unless it's changed, it needed 2 signatures when I did it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Well, let
sound
me
like it
check.
needs 2
Let me
signatures.
check. I don't know. I can't remember off the
It
top of
was
my head.
me and the principal.
If it does
So
need
maybe-
2 signatures, then I'm comfortable.
All right.
If it only needs 1 signature for that check to be cashed, for the maximum amount in the checking account, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah. Give me, I tell you what, I can check. I'll double check the number of signatures.
And in a sense, it's a separate issue from the issue at hand, because we're still going to be, there still has to be a primary person.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're voting on now. But I would appreciate it if we could see just how many signatures it takes to clear out a checking account.
Yep.
I move the approval of the identified principals and designees for the high school and the middle school, which would be Mr. Tricker and Mrs. Pont.
Do I have a second?
I second it,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all he said, was
No,
2.
you need to, sorry.
principals of each of
And principals and
Deacons and
designees.
minors.
And principals at Deacon's and Minot. Sorry, I'll add that to my motion.
New second for that?
Second it.
Any discussion? Any more discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? 400. Passed. And next, you're still
Okay.
there, so you can talk
Okay.
about it. The membership approval of school building committee for the Minot Forest School project.
So this is part of the project we have started with MSBA into their core program to renovate or rebuild or add to or replace Minot Forest Elementary School. So we are in the initial phases of this project, and one of the first steps that we have to do to comply with MSBA requirements is create a school building committee and to provide them with a list of the members of that committee. And that's what was in your papers. We've tried to reflect a combination of elected officials, of expertise, both from employees who work in the town and also independent expertise, and also parents and teachers.
Did you meet with Derek Sullivan? and
Yes, so we met
Judy-
with the town
Judy
administrator
Whiteside?
to review this list, and a lot of the
Mhm.
names came, so particularly when he suggested including the building commissioner and planning board and so on, they were his suggestion.
So it was a group decision
Yes.
from the town also?
So, and our plan is that so then once, if this is approved by the school committee, this would be submitted to MSBA, and then any changes to this board would then have to be submitted to the MSBA as well.
If you make a change to this,
Yeah.
you have to continually update
Yes.
it with the...
Exactly.
There any questions about this?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I am, given the fact that this is a major undertaking by the town and not just the school district, I am grateful to the volunteers, citizens, parents who are extending themselves by being a part of this committee. It is no small feat to be a part of it. It's a major responsibility, and I applaud their willingness to participate and thank them for it.
I second that. Any other discussion? We ready to vote? Do I have a motion to accept?
I move we accept the school building committee for the Minot Forest project.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? 400.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you. June 9th, tomorrow, underclassmen awards, academic awards ceremony at 7 p.m. On June 15th at 5 o'clock, the 8th grade promotion ceremony. It will be at the high school gym. There were Makepeace Award winners. I'm happy to announce Sean Brown from the high school received a grant for the Bee Project, and Janice Barton for the Stage, which is the weekend backpack food program. She's at Wareham Middle School. It's in conjunction with Beyond School Time. We also received a $10,000 grant from Eastern Bank for Beyond School Time programming, family and community engagement, as well as global initiatives. So thank you very much. We certainly appreciate the grants and the generosity by various community agencies.
Thank you. The next item is school committee reports. I don't think we have any this week for the policy review. Nope. So is there any other business not reasonably anticipated 48 hours prior to this meeting? Anything else? Well, do I have a motion to close? Oh, we go into...
No, we have to
We have to go in...
individually go into executive
We need a
session for the
motion.
purpose of executive minutes and negotiation update.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second it.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, vote.
Yes.
Vote, roll call. Roll call. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. 4-0. Okay.
Thank you.
So Jamie, that was unusual brevity.
Yeah.
We're happy you can go home early.